Hello Internet, God is love and I'm Nigel Winters. And today we're going to talk about something near and dear to my heart, the Liturgy of the Hours. Now, I'm guessing that most of you haven't really heard of them, and that's to be expected. They're rarely practiced outside of monasteries and convents. So the Liturgy of the Hours, also known as the Divine Office, is a series of 7 prayers prayed at specific points in the day. The prayers themselves are very scripturally based, revolving around the Psalms and different daily readings. They were developed out of the Jewish prayer practices at around the time of the 1st century AD, and combined with the Roman schedule of timekeeping. So roughly we have our midnight prayer, our morning prayer, our mid-morning prayer, our noon prayer, our early afternoon prayer, our evening prayer, and finally our night prayer. That's a lot of prayers. The prayers revolve around the Psalms a lot, and in roughly a 2-week time span you'll go through all 150 Psalms if you do every single prayer of the day. The point of the Liturgy of the Hours is to turn your day into one giant prayer to God. The prayer that's roughly done at midnight or really early in your morning, depending on when you want to do it, involves 2 separate readings and a short gospel passage, along with a couple of psalms. So if you're someone who's very scripturally inclined, I would highly recommend this prayer. Personally, I find the whole 7 prayers a day thing a little bit much, and so when I decide to partake in the Liturgy of the Hours, I combined some of the prayers, so I only pray around 4 to 5 times a day compared to the 7. Now, I'm sure there are some of you who are thinking, oh, this is way too rigid for me. The Protestant in me is just screaming out and against this. And, you know, that's possibly a legitimate concern. These prayers are practiced primarily by priests, monks, and nuns. But for me, I like how every prayer has a series of psalms, and the one big prayer has scripture readings. And every day, the psalms that are used and the readings that are used change, so I don't really know what's going to be coming up next. And when I pray earnestly, sometimes I can hear God speaking to me through the scriptures. While the prayers themselves are very rigidly scriptured, as they were developed and expanded upon in a monastic setting, which has lots and lots of rules, there are times in every single one of the 7 prayers for you to just take time by yourself. It's not scripted at all. It's just a set period of time for you to pray. You find your own words that you need to do. You sit and listen to God. You do whatever you need to do during that time. If you're like me, you probably like order and structure to your life. And because the Liturgy of the Hours have specific times in which you need to be praying, that helps create a sort of framework around which you can build your day. Everyone always says like, oh, I should really pray more, but with these prayers, you can like set a timer on your phone, be like, oh, it's now time for the midday prayer, or oh, it's now time for the evening prayer. And so it can hold you accountable. Because a lot of us, when we say, oh, well, I should be praying more, that's sort of just like a ethereal thing, an ephemeral thing. It's just like an idea. That would be nice, wouldn't it? But if we really commit to praying the Liturgy of the Hours, we have actual times marked out of our day where we get to pray. Because a lot of times it can be hard to find times to pray. Sometimes even when we do have downtime, we don't necessarily think to ourselves, oh, we could be praying right now. And so the Liturgy of the Hour says, oh, hey, guess what? Time for prayer. Stop what you're doing. Go pray for 5-10 minutes and come back. And that's nice because it is, again, just like 5 to 10 minutes a couple times during the day. And that really helps you to focus your day on God and help focus your entire life on God. And I really like that about the Liturgy of the Hours. So I hope you found this useful. I'm going to include in the doobly-doo a link to a website which stays up to date on the Liturgy of the Hours. So every day it will have the correct prayers for the day, and you just decide when in your morning and afternoon and evening you are going to say the different prayers, or if you want to combine them. It's a great resource. I highly encourage you all to check it out. I hope that this has been enlightening for some of you, and hopefully this has been inspiring for some of you. Happy praying. Aje Quarajas.